And we're live. Thanks, Kane. So, getting together with I guess what I would refer to as, what did Gay Pat said? Somebody from, maybe Marty Mush said the KMS basketball team had the largest support staff that they had ever seen. So, I'll take that as a compliment. So, this is Tim and Canton. I'm here joined by Kane, Nipples, James, and Ted. I would say about half of the behind the scenes people from the other night.
Yeah, maybe a fourth.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
They travel well, that KMS basketball team.
Yeah, so we figured we'd get together again and just talk about what we saw behind the scenes that maybe people weren't aware of, or funny things that we noticed. Not necessarily talking about the game itself, but whatever anybody wants to bring up. But any tidbits that people want to share. So we thought we'd all get together and reminisce because like the team, sounds like that was it for us as well, right? As far as, well, maybe not James and Josh, but as far as support staff for basketball, unless Chicago, the game against Chicago happens, that may be it for us as well, right, fellas?
I mean, my boy Marty Mush did have a very specific request.
He did. How happy were you, Ted?
He wants to roll the old wheelchair guy out there if it's happening.
Yeah. Do you think, Ted, do you think he did that to look magnanimous, or do you think he did that because he generally likes you?
Both times, like both games, like Marty Mush has specifically come up to me and just been like, dude, Sellers, you're the best, dude.
I agree. I think he loves you.
Dude.
Yeah,
I think he was really upset that Rico parked at the handicap too. I mean,
we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah, that's on
stumbling upon that was just
that's crazy.
Amazing,
especially by you. But yeah, I'm with like Kirk has said. Well, Marty has said it himself. He can't stop watching that team and everything around it. He is a huge Minifan. Absolutely huge Minifan. It seems like a genuinely good guy. Always says hello to everybody. He was out on the court. He's smiling the whole time. He gets it. He totally gets it. So, all right. So let's start with pregame. So that would be, Nipples. I mean, I got there early, and you were there.
Yeah,
so, was. All right, why don't you kick us off? What time did you get there? Because I know you don't have to mention who it was, because we both know him. But there was also a Minifan there. So what time did you get to the Vale Co-op? That's what it's actually called, Vale.
I got there at 4:30 with the idea that, just to make sure I was in the area. First off, I was coming from Quincy, from the office. Heather came and met me, and we took one car, and I didn't want to get jammed up on Pike traffic. So I figured give myself, I figured I'd give myself some extra time. We got down there with literally no traffic. So we got there at 4:30, pulled in, and sure enough, there was one of the Minifans was literally just sitting in his car.
Minifan.
Yeah, he's awesome. I was like, what are you? He's like, I had nothing better to do. So I was like, okay, hey, you got a good part.
A guy who works nights.
Yes.
And it goes to all the events, never wants to be on camera. Huge fan of the show. So when I walked in, and so we should probably just talk about everybody's role when you talk. Nip, you want to just mention what your role is, as if anybody wouldn't know who's watching this. I mean, there's only one reason we're here.
Yeah, I was named the team manager back on first week of July after Brando got canned.
And I'm the I would say videographer. My role, I think, is really I just try to capture all behind the scenes stuff. Kirk is unbelievably gracious. It lets me stick that mic next to him whenever he's having a personal conversation with somebody. So just trying to capture things that are happening outside of when Cullinane would record with the camera, or like Boston was mostly just recording the game. So this is the videos that I captured, and that's all belongs to the show. I send that all to Justin, and he edits it. So I'd already talked to Justin about some sort of project later on. So hopefully we'll be able to put that together, because I can tell you there is some friggin' classic behind the scenes stuff from everybody on that team. All right, so Nip, you're there early. I get there. We just start seeing some of the team coming in around 4:30. They were told to be there, I think, at 5:30. There were guys there at 4:45, 5 o'clock. Nobody was late.
Nobody was late.
And you had two people helping you out, right, Nip?
Correct. I had Andy Mayo. Sorry.
Yep.
And I mean, Gus was there. He was doing stuff.
He's a decoy.
Wasn't Brando helping out?
Brando was helping out, but he helped Kane more than anything.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I noticed some things with Kane. Yeah.
That's one way to put it. Roles. So, Kane had the main floor.
He didn't seem to show up that much earlier than last time either.
No, I didn't.
No. He never learns. He is challenged when it comes to time. Definitely challenged with the clock. The thing I get so Mayo couldn't make it tonight along with Josh, Bobby, but I was impressed. Not only did you guys have all the drinks, you had plenty of drinks. They were on ice. There was some room temperature because not everybody likes them on ice. You had snacks, and Mayo brought the massage gun.
Yeah, he brought the Theragun.
Nice
he had all the fruit. I had all the water, and then thankfully, Barstool stepped up with 2 cases of body armor because I bought a couple. I bought like a dozen. No, I bought a case of it, and I had extra stuff. But I mean, the way they were running through it, it was, Thankfully.
Thankfully, they were a sponsor of Boston. So just a couple of quick things I saw pregame, and then I'll kick it over to Ted. There was definitely a little bit of a tailgate going on. They were not Minifans. I was shocked. They were riders. And what I was going to
bring that up too. That was interesting.
Yeah, so you saw them too, King.
I did. First thing I noticed when I drove in was the tailgaters, and I knew this shit was serious. That's when I knew we were in for a great night.
The thing I noticed is with the crowd, it seemed to be either Minifans or riders. Did you guys get a sense there were like Barstool fans there, or more that they were rider fans?
I know there were some Barstool fans there for sure. I mean,
the riders.
Okay, General Barstool. Yeah,
the riders are basically the General Barstool fans too.
Yeah, they're very loud.
Right? When I first got there, it was like 5:30ish, and right when I pulled up, I saw Joe Sauce, Big Twan, right out front. I went over because I've interacted obviously with all of them, like just through like back and forths online. So I went over and introduced myself, and they seemed like they were pretty good guys. Big Twan's hat was fucking ridiculous. It was a brimless like baseball cap. It was putting in overtime, staying on his head. Like that thing was impressive. But like Big Twan seemed like a very nice guy. I mean that whole crew did. And then later on, Derek from the chat. I guess he drove 8 hours from Washington D.C. to get punched in the stomach by Kirk during the game, which was quite the scene.
Made it work.
Hey, that's something.
But no, they seem like all good dudes, and it made it fun to have like actual like opposing fans too, which was like kind of different than the last one. I know I mentioned the 3 kids that were near me, and they did show up this time again. That Kirk yelled "fuck you" after they won the last game, but they were much quieter this time.
Yeah.
But it was a nice atmosphere, especially because they were like right off to the right of me, like most of the game. Which was pretty cool. As far as actual pregame goes, a Barstool production versus what the KMS production was, a lot different.
Unbelievable difference, right?
Wow. Well, that comes from, and it should be because Kirk has always said everything for the KMS show is Kirk. Everything.
Right.
Yeah.
The financing, everything comes from Kirk.
Which makes him so much more impressive, really.
Right.
Think of it in the grand scheme of things.
And the fact that he's like, the way he picked the team, the announcers, all of you guys, everybody that's involved, it just he's said forever the fans are the 4th chair, right? And not only that, he makes them part of the whole production. I went to almost all the practices, and there were people like Rimo just showed up at practice. Like he just accepts it as this is the world that he's created. But Barstool, man, they had the mics in the corners of the court. How many cameras did they have? Like
they had 5.
5 cameras.
5, yeah.
They had each corner and then a central. So,
and there was I think we counted before the game. Nip, wasn't there like 12 people? I think that we counted that were
12
there.
to 13 people.
Yeah.
They were there for hours before any of us, because when I got there at 4:30, they were basically set, and to set up what they did with all the cabling, with everything else.
Yeah.
Making sure they had to have been there 5 hours before that, 4 or 5 hours.
But they were just there for the game. Like I'll mention this. There is a video. So going to the practices, like I said, just trying to get the behind the scenes stuff. There is a video where I had told Mick at one practice he had thrown up once, drive heave the second time, and told me, I said, please do not go either dry heave or actually puke without telling me first. Third time he grabbed me and goes, let's go, Tim. It's time. And I'm on the floor in that Braintree, not at Thayer, the other school, on the floor next to Mick, catching him while he's puking into the toilet. Now, Barstool wouldn't do that, but the KMS production would. So that is some of the behind the scenes that hopefully will be in a post season thing. So Ted, last thing pregame that I noticed was you mentioned in the guys who were tailgating. So I saw Gus and said, Gus, there's some riders down there and know who you are. He's out in the parking lot waiting for Mutt, and he just starts fucking yelling and screaming, fuck them, fuck Terry. He said, go Gus. I say, Gus, they're nice guys. They're not here to hurt you. Yeah. I don't give a shit if they are. I'm fucking taking Terry out. I was like, maybe don't go down there then. Anyway, so all right, so Ted, then you had the pregame before the announcing. So you did a little pregame with Bobby.
Yeah,
so what you got for behind the scenes?
Kane was actually like right with us for most of it.
A very tan Kane, by the way.
Yeah,
like that,
right on the edge of the table.
I didn't say I liked it. I said you were tan.
He didn't wear like the nurse's pants this time. He had actual slacks on. It was great.
Listen, him and Bobby said I looked all right, so I was happy. I had to
we did
to make sure if I was dressed
I was
appropriately.
like, damn, who's this? But what's funny is like Nick Fasoli kept coming over like every 2 minutes.
Now who was?
So he's done a bunch of Barstool stuff that KMS has like filmed.
He's the director.
Oh, he said okay. So
he basically was the technical producer director for like the whole thing. He was like getting everybody in their spots and everything like that. But right when we sat down, I looked at Kane. I was like, "What do I got a script?" Like we had like this like 4-page outline that had colors and highlighted things on it. They had all our names on it. It was pretty cool. I took a picture of it. And then, they keep coming over and they're like, all right, it's going to be a video and then it's going to be you. Can you fill 9 minutes? Like, is that too much? And me, Brando, and Bobby did like 30 last time. And Dave kept being like, stretch. So we were like, yeah, I think we can do the 9 minutes. Like that'll be fine. But obviously these guys don't really know us. So they're just like, we're hoping this all works out kind of thing.
Well, you bring up a good point. Do you think he's familiar with the show, but do you think like those other folks there, do you think that they think that you guys are like paid announcers?
I think they were told ahead of time that we're like fans that go on the show.
Okay.
But I don't think they really understand like what the show is.
Yeah.
I don't want to, maybe some of them do, but none of them seem to like recognize anybody or like put themselves out there to be like, hi, I'm this person. Like, other than Fasuli and all the Barstool New York guys.
Yeah, they kind of went about their business. Yeah.
But everybody else is kind of like, if they were a camera guy, they were behind the camera. If they were, behind the scorer's table, that's where they were, all that stuff. But
and so I know you guys are aware before the game, there was a lot of talk about Barstool New York being late again. But it turns out, was this confirmed? The rumor was that one of Rico's riders has an Airbnb and put them up for the afternoon there.
They were in an Airbnb for a couple hours.
They were okay.
It's interesting.
So they all the video online beforehand about not really being they were 1,000% focused on that game. Absolutely focused on that game. They all got there early. They had some downtime. The rumor was they were watching game film. I don't doubt it, but they did not want to lose to Kirk and KMS again.
Yeah, I mean, their bench just matched the energy of KMS bench for most of it. Even Pat on his crutches the whole time was yelling out Marty. Yeah. He was on Marty most of the game saying, "Who you guarding? Who you guarding?" Whenever they were on defense, it was almost like he was the coach.
Yeah, they want to repeat, and so then we get to the actual game. So that's James, Josh, and then this is where Nip and Kane, you actually you were getting a ton of questions because you were keeping the book.
Yeah,
and I noticed that you were constantly being asked about fouls and bonus and shit.
Yeah, so I had to figure out exactly the rules, but I got down to it. It is a lot of action. Trying to keep track of what's going on because there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of people hitting each other, doing all this, and the referees are in the middle of it, and we got to make sure we get the fouls right. Did I add a couple here or there? Maybe, I don't know, but I will say this: the production team behind the scenes for Barstool are so professional, so great. That guy Frisoli. That's his name, right? That producer, he was, the nicest guy. I couldn't believe the production behind the scenes. I was actually kind of shocked that it was that good. It was unbelievable, the professionalism and all the guys.
Oh, geez. All right. Someone's shilling for a job.
I'm just saying. No, I'm not. I'm just saying that I was listening to him on
He's going to blow his
mic. They were cheering each other on. It was a great team at Barstool, I have to say. Other than Meek Phil's breath,
and he's so handsome.
Yeah. So, all right, Kane. So, Kane, two things. I know the refs were coming to you and say, I know you learned from last time because you did say it was difficult. You kept having to jump up, look around people. You position yourself differently. You learned from last time. You were there to keep track of everything. I know the coaches for KMS kept asking, who's got how many fouls, but also the refs too were coming to you as the official. Right. What about Boston, New York? Did they ask, and did you share it with them?
I did not share anything with them. And I will say this. Have we seen the official stat sheet yet? Because in what I was told was, and they were like, you're going to keep the numbers. I'm like, I just care more about the fouls. But that really was the thing that we kind of fucked up last time. They said they were going to have a whole team of people doing stats, and I haven't seen anything come out about a stat sheet yet. So I'm not sure what they were doing. I will say this. The clock situation, I know there was some controversy about that. Us on the sidelines kind of were able to I was right near there, so I could tell what was going on. And the referee was starting the clock a little later. So I don't really think them not stopping the clock would ever had a factor at all because the Minifan ref, that's what I'm going to call him. He kept waiting to start the clock. He kind of was.
Oh, the guy,
the bigger guy, great guy. So there wasn't really any controversy with that. They were trying. Every time the ref kind of went over to them, they were smiling. So they were definitely in the bag trying to run that clock off. And Brando really wasn't great at it. He should have been a little better at the clock. So if we go again, I think him paying attention to the clock, me paying attention to the fouls, it's kind of the way to go. But I do want to say,
are you saying that Brando should get fired from another job?
No, I don't know if he just didn't grab his role enough. But I will say this, Nipples was very professional. He sent me everything I needed ahead of time. He was checking in when I was coming. The guy is just a manager personified.
He was born to do this role.
He was born to do it.
Well, we're going to talk about the postgame, too, and his role there.
He crushed it the entire day.
So, hey, Kane, I'm sorry. And I spoke over you. So did you say, was Brando running the clock?
Brando eventually, because I think Mutt started to really catch on, and Mutt's like, you guys watching the clock? You guys
who was actually running it?
The Barstool people were running the clock. They jumped right on that time clock. That was a smart move by Barstool to jump on and have control of that. I thought we'd have a little more control, but we didn't. And then we kind of got pushed in that corner, but we were watching. I was watching on James and Josh's screen and watching it. But the referee kind of evened it out. So it didn't really, I don't think it really factored into anything that really went either way for either side.
Yeah, because last time the clock keepers were just a couple kids, right? That were
Yeah,
associated
exactly.
with
We were able to
Yeah.
manipulate them very easily, you know.
Yeah. And Kane, you made a comment online. You just said it again.
Yeah.
And now I don't have basically a sense of smell anymore. Is Meek Phil's breath that bad?
It's unbelievable. I will say this. The only way this happens is you don't brush your teeth.
How did you find that out?
I'll tell you right now, Ted. So I didn't really, again, not prepared as I probably should have been. I think they might have switched a player up or two. I know Dana Beers was different. I don't remember that guy Steve Romano from last game. Was he there last game?
Yeah, he was there.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah.
So I went over.
But
to
he didn't play
Phil
much
and I was
last
like,
game, right?
No, because I realized the refs were kind of last time they were going just by numbers. They weren't even saying the names. So I went over and I was getting the name to the number, and he kind of leaned in, and I was floored. It knocked me over. I was like, "Holy shit!" I didn't say anything to him. Nice guy. That guy dude hasn't brushed his teeth in a long, long time. Either that or he doesn't brush his teeth and drinks 15 coffees a day because it was I can't remember the last time I smelled breath that bad. It was the worst breath I've ever smelled. But great guy. Nice guy. He gave me all the names. He was very nice. Just
we all have our crosses to bear. Maybe he does brush his teeth, but it's with a lot of
There's no way he does. It just breath cannot get that bad.
Maybe he eats Rico's ass. Who knows?
All right, James. Good segue into let's get your point of view from Colin during the game. Things behind the scenes that
kind of started. We were on the way, and Josh got a text from Gus that said like,
"Yeah, dude, let's time out." Say that again. We were on the way.
So Josh got a text from Gus that said, "I need all their starters and their heights, nothing else." And I'm like, we're trying to talk about it. And we're like, what the hell is he talking about? And just won't say why. And Josh is like, okay, no problem. So Josh messages Meek Phil and says everything, and Meek Phil just says the starting lineup, doesn't give him any other information. So we go to Gus, he comes over to us and lets us know he's not playing. We had no idea. I thought he was playing. I had no idea. I probably should have known from the pictures from the practices that he was just shooting. But then
I don't want to cut him off, but did anybody know he wasn't playing? I'm just curious. Did anybody know?
No comment.
Okay. All right. Sorry.
No, no. It's seriously no comment. I have no idea if he was going to play. I thought he was playing.
Okay.
When I was in there before, doing the before the game, they getting dressed. I thought he was playing. He's like, I'm gonna fucking show Rico what intent is. I'm like, all right, here we go, baby. That was a great move. Great move to at least have him out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So he told us I can't play. I got a concussion last game. He went all into that. It was kind of
remind me about that at the end because that came up again. Yeah.
So then Josh explained to him, hey, he didn't give me the heights. He's like, oh, it's no problem. I'm doing the PA. I'm gonna be fine. I'm doing the announcing tonight. No one knows this, but don't tell anybody. So I was like, yeah, no problem. And then we get over the Barstool guy, Nick, awesome guy, like you guys said, really nice. He goes, I have no idea what Gus is talking about. I was not made aware of this. And he goes, this is not happening.
So
he wasn't doing because he didn't do the PA.
No, but he had been getting all the information like he thought he was. I thought it was odd that they didn't do it, but because he was talking, getting everything planned and rolled up, and he really was.
And he's good at it. He's very good at it.
Definitely.
So Nick said that was never going to happen.
Yeah, because I said to him, because they came over to us about the color guard and they wanted us to do a reading, and we got kind of confused. Are we doing this so everyone there could hear us?
I remember.
But he's like, no, just the people there. So then we thought Gus was going to do it, and he shot that down right away. But it was also funny too. Nick came over to us and he was a little flustered, and he's like, oh man, he's like, Kirk almost made them leave, the firefighters. I was like, oh, why? What happened? He's like, he told them to go save a kitten in a tree. Which was cool. But we also found out, I didn't know this. Obviously, some of you may know, Cliff came over to us pregame, was like, I'm starting tonight. I got a big assignment. But we didn't say much about that. But yeah, the production was crazy. I did miss Dave. I love Dave. He's a good guy. But Yeah, Kane, I think, didn't you have to stand the whole time too?
I did, and I was right on the side of the best broadcast team, so it was a great experience for me. I enjoyed it. I think I might have. Can I say one thing? The comments of people saying Joff was a little puffy lately. I didn't see it. He looked great. Looked fantastic. I don't think I agree with those comments of people saying he looks a little puffy.
Looked fantastic. They sounded fantastic. I don't know which made me happier, but no, I guess
the Pat Ford 3 call.
Oh,
that was
how great was that?
Great call.
That was great.
I was so happy. I mean, Pat, we've had about. I couldn't have been more happy for somebody when he hit that 3. That was electric. That place just went nuts. It's awesome.
And did you guys happen to see Mutt's bruise before he put in the suit?
Crazy.
That was legit. He got fucking tagged.
Crazy.
So it went from like just below his wrist all the way up his bicep, all right here, and it was nasty. It was like one of those deep purple bruises.
It had that big hole in it too. He had that, where he ripped here from when he fell. It was actually I'm surprised he didn't have something over it, like a bandage. Or something.
They did.
Oh, that's great.
They just did.
Yeah,
they missed.
Yeah, they missed.
And another behind the scenes, when he was showing up, Gus was telling me that's when he was outside ranting in the parking lot. And I said, well, I asked him something like, what are you doing? Are you looking for somebody? He's, I'm waiting for Mutt. I got to get his suit. I'm like, how come? And he said, I'm gonna have it. I'm gonna have his suit. And I said, are you wearing his suit? He goes, no, I'm gonna have it. I got to get his suit from him. I was very confused, and I love Andrew, and I'm trying to figure it out because I can talk crazy sometimes, but he can get me, and I was so confused. I said, "What? But like, is Mutt wearing it? Yeah, but I gotta get it." I go, "Why do you have to get Mutt's suit?" He goes, "Oh, I'm just carrying it in." I'm like, "Okay, well that's all." That's like, it's always a production, right? It's just and meanwhile, Mutt's there. He gets out of the car. He's like, "Hey, Gus, can you just carry my suit?" And he's got his, but Gus, it was like this whole production. So James, you actually, Kane mentioned something, but this is like a typical question for a longtime broadcaster such as yourself. You, Johnny Most, Joe Castiglione. What was your favorite call of the night?
It was definitely the Pat Ford 3 from Josh. That was unbelievable.
It jumped out of the chair.
For sure. Yeah, I like when he gets excited. He'll, especially for beanbag, sometimes he like stands up and he gets super excited. And he had the double earrings in, so he was ready to go.
Yeah, so he was serious. and when we were talking before game, because I was just like going around asking people what they're listening to give it to Bobby and Ted, and the warm-ups or people's anything that happened on the way there. And Beanbag had walked by and he said, "Tim, you're so happy right now." I'm like, "How can you tell?" He goes, "Because you're talking to your favorite people, James and Josh." I'm like, "I fucking love these guys. love listening to them, love hearing their stories." And it bums me out when I don't see them together. I think there's trouble in paradise.
It is weird.
Yeah. So all right. So anything else, James? During the game?
Just before, like I was talking to some of the fans, and like you said, it was the Joey Sauce guy who I literally had no idea until yesterday on Twitter when I realized that was him. I was talking to him for like 20 minutes. He said he was from Jersey. He had a Jeff Nadeau doll in his car or something.
Nice guy.
He was really nice in person. Yeah, and then there was another guy. They were both definitely riders for sure. But yeah, it was cool talking to them. It was a cool, like you guys said, I was glad there was opposing fans there. That was cool.
Do you guys think were there more fans there for this game or the last game?
I think this one definitely, right?
This one? I thought so too.
There was 3 rows behind. Like so you had the chairs, stands on the floor, and with the chairs it was 3 deep. So chair, row, row.
Oh wow!
3 rows on all the things, and then up top it was elbow to elbow, and then you had all the riders and stuff in that corner.
They were all together, right down by like kind of near the entrance. Yeah.
That Robbie Burger chant was fantastic.
that was funny.
That was
funny. And James, did you mentioned Cullinane? Were you surprised that Dave didn't go to the game? Because he's home now, right? He's back from his
a little bit, but I think he likes to try to remove himself. But I will say this: 3 people there might be the 3 greatest guys alive. Cinema's brother Kevin. I mean, what a classy guy! Such a nice guy.
Totally.
Marty Mush, just always so nice. And honestly, Dana Beers is right up there.
Yeah.
There's 3 great guys.
Super
Rico
good guys.
doesn't even look at us, which is kind of funny.
Well, I don't think it's funny you say that. I don't think he can, because just watching it, like you guys saw when he, even after a play, he's like herky jerky. Like
I will say Rico knows more than you think he does. Because when I was walking in, he was coming in. He's like, "Hey, you doing the stats tonight?" I've never met him in my life.
Yeah.
He knows what's going on. I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I was like, wow.
He like Kirk gets like just so into the character that I don't think he can bring himself to be like Marty, who's just taking in like everything. Like, this is great. Look at us.
But he did
playing basketball. And
I'll give Rico
opposite,
Rico's
like,
head was fantastic though.
I'll give Rico credit. He tried to keep himself in check. You could tell he was really, really trying to not let it, because there was a shit ton of talking, not the least of which is Gus, which I had this dinky little mic into my phone. And at one point I went down someone on the team said, "You got to get Gus." And so I went down. It might have been Brando or somebody, but he was all over Rico. So I went down and just put the mic by him, and he didn't do it for show. He was just taunting Rico
nuts.
Non-stop.
It was crazy.
If Rico was on the floor, he was chatting.
Yep. Like you get the videos from their ride to Iowa. He even said, "Yeah, my voice is shot." He was screaming it at one point. I think Rico was at the free throw line, and Gus is just screaming, and then Rico sings and goes, "Oh, okay." Like, ripping apart. And speaking of which, another not about the Barstool guys, and the KMS guys, we all know, we all love. I mean, it starts with Kirk and it goes from there, right? But man, I am so impressed with Ryan Whitney. I love him. He is such a fan. He was so funny on the Unnamed show saying, I played professional hockey and I had no problem driving 2 hours to go to this basketball game to coach. He knows everybody's name. Yeah. He's talking to people by their names. He was awesome on the sideline
with a bunch of people afterwards. Like
just a typical hockey guy. Great guy. Easy to talk to.
No socks with that suit. I mean,
him and Mutt. Mutt. No, in fact, I found the picture today. Terrific. Him and Mutt, no socks with
big
the
dude,
suit.
huh? I was like, whoa, he's a big guy. Yeah.
Well, everybody's taller than us, Kane.
That's true, still.
But he is tall. And so Witt on the side, like he's just an awesome presence for the team. Because Kirk's playing. He can't be on the sideline. Kirk's speech before the game, halftime, and after the game are freaking phenomenal. I thought the ones for the Cinema game were great. These were just as good. And very motivating, very heartfelt, just freaking awesome. And Witt on the staff was a great pick because he knew what his role was. He's talking to these guys, pumping them up. And my favorite is when Witt would be yelling, "Mo, you're the fucking worst." Mo the ref, right?
Yes.
He's just yelling, "Mo, you're the fucking worst. You can't see a fucking thing. You're the worst ref I've ever seen." And then he makes the call. "Great call, Mo. That's the call. Great call." just on a dime, he can switch. He's taught. He works with these guys like Kirk, right? He works with these guys. He's talking shit to them while they're on the court. Just the brilliance of Kirk to have him as part of the staff, which is so great. And again, to think like Kirk's got a former professional hockey player on the coaching staff with Chris Clemmer and Mike, and coaching the KMS, helping to coach the KMS team, or whatever his role was.
Into the transition from that, if you don't mind. I'd like to hear what you think of Mayo. You met him in person now. You're obviously 2 are enemies.
I've met Mayo many times.
What's that?
No, I've met Mayo many times in person.
Oh, okay.
Many times.
I didn't know that.
And I always say, oh yeah, I don't hate the person. I've always said this. I don't hate Mayo. He's got the worst fucking takes. He's what's his name from The Office? The guy who's the Debbie Downer from HR.
Toby.
He's Toby. He's Toby to the KMS world. He he wants to kill everything that's good. He's like Greg Hill on the radio when things are getting exciting and says, guys, we got to pay attention to the clock. Let's go to a break. That's Mayo. That's what drives me bonkers. Other than that, Mayo's a nice guy. He's very easy to talk to.
I think I've heard you say like his worst quality is the one that you hate the most is jealousy, and that's something that bothered you a lot, right?
Yes.
I'd like to give a couple shout outs if you don't mind.
I don't think he's like he hasn't been like that much lately, but jealousy is a very dangerous quality to have. What's that?
I'll give a couple shout outs. A couple people on the team, if you don't mind. First of all, Cliff, I thought had a fantastic game. He shocked me. Like how good he was on defense. I was really impressed. Matt from Providence, I love watching play, and I'm going to be honest. I don't think Beanbag Ron honestly gets enough credit for how great this guy is on the basketball court.
How fast he is.
He really wasn't really part
everywhere.
of that documentary enough. In my opinion, it was a lot of Gus, and really the story is somebody like Beanbag Ron is honestly the heart of the team. Besides Kirk, I'm going to take Kirk out of it. Just in general, the other players, but those three guys to me really exemplify what that team was. Just a lot of heart. It was just great to watch. Those three guys really. Cliff was the, came around the most. I don't know. You guys have watched practice. Did you guys see that coming? Or have you been watching that kind of develop?
Yeah,
Cliff became a starter.
Yeah, it was
unbelievable run.
He was getting better every practice.
Yeah,
that last practice he was great. And Kirk told him, he's like, you've got 6 fouls to use. You're going to get out there and play, and you're just going to be a pest.
And he took that time. And Nip, remember he would Kirk would say, and Kirk has talked about this on the show. He'd say, if you don't know what to do, ask. And Cliff would ask. And like Kirk said, he's not a basketball player, but goddamn, he can be a pest on defense, right? And that's great. And he was locked in. That Saturday practice at Thayer, he was locked in, and he understood what his role was going to be. Took it to heart, and Monday night, you could tell he was ready to go and knew what he had to do.
If you don't mind me asking, too, did John and Waring? I felt like after coming out of the last game, he felt like he was going to be the starter, and he didn't start. Really, not as much impact as usual, I guess. Did you kind of see him kind of dwindle away in practice a little, or was it just a circumstantial situation? Games, times.
I know barely anything about basketball. It's not my favorite sport, so I couldn't tell you. And frankly, I'm just there to catch the live action, as they used to say on some show. So yeah, I couldn't tell you. All I know is Kirk had a strategy, and the team bought into the strategy. And I think Kirk mentioned this the next day on the show. People played their role. They knew their role and they played their role. That's why I hate to see the season end because this end because they were just getting better and better, right, Nip? I mean, at the practices, they would do these drills and they were just getting them down. They understood, and they would move people around, and everybody would understand their role. It was just for me. I can't believe how fortunate I am to be able to have gone and just watched. Like
getting them better at basketball, in shape. The guy's a fucking saint. They're a saint. These guys healthier.
I think I don't want to speak for Kirk, but it seemed like they wanted to be super physical with Team New York, and I think Cliff brings more of that than John and Warren.
Yeah,
and I think John and Warren, his role would be play some, try to hit some shots, but
So all right, so
I was happy for him. He did a good job. I just was Cliff being out there really shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, it's an unbelievable I don't know what the word is.
Tryouts to starter,
yeah, crazy. Just a meteoric rise. There you go.
All right, so post game. So wrapping up. I don't have much for post game. I just got the guys in the locker room. Again, that's for the show to share that video if they want. So I'm not going to say anything about it other than just great talk from Kirk. And the mood in that room was just awesome to see. The only thing I would say is I mentioned that I basically have no sense of smell anymore. But when I was in that locker room, I was like, God damn, it smells like a fucking Italian sub in here. I mean, those guys were sweating their bag off the whole game. Like, holy shit. Is it just me? Is it worse than it is? Because I can stick my nose in a cup of coffee and really not smell it. And then I was walking around just filming some stuff, and I noticed that someone brought in a bunch of Jersey Mike Italian subs. It actually was a box of Italian subs that someone brought in.
That was the Barstool people. They had, all the production guys.
Oh, is that who brought that? Yeah,
that was for that.
Yeah. So the only thing I would mention for me about postgame, and then I'll let you guys talk about it because I know you guys went and grabbed a little bite to eat. Two things. One, as I was leaving, I saw Gus and Mrs. Gus, and I can confirm they are moving.
Okay.
Yeah, they are.
I got it from the real source. They're moving. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's very sweet, and she did confirm. But I ran into what's dying guy's name? Joe, right?
I don't even know
dying
his
guy,
name.
Cancer guy.
Yeah, I know dying guy.
I know you're talking about. I don't know.
So saw him after the game. We were chit chatting. Good news to him. He looks good. He got some.
What a
he gets some. He gets some.
What an asshole.
Yeah, I know, huh? He gets some positive news for some scans, and he was saying that he's able to cut back a little on his meds. So that was great to hear. And then when I was leaving, Gus was talking to dying guy, and I think dying guy may have wanted to die because only Gus could make it about Gus. And I heard him talking ad nauseum or ad nauseum, whatever it's called, or however you say it, about his concussion, and he can't move, and he can't do this. And I'm thinking, this poor fucking guy would rather be dead right now than let's talk about the guy had stage 4 cancer, but Gus felt the need to tell him all about his concussions.
Well, and he probably just got over telling me the exact same thing because I made a joke to him of like, oh, what did Rico say? He wouldn't play unless like you were on the bench or whatever. And he's like, nah, I got a concussion. And, my doctor says it's only slow pitch softball from here on out. Right. I was like, it seems like a really specific thing for a doctor to say that like you're still allowed slow pitch softball, but do not play basketball anymore.
Oh, he's the best. All right. So then there was a team get together, which Nip, you coordinated.
Before we move to that, can I just tell my exit real quick?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And then I'll let James and everybody else who went to the after take it from there. So I hung around the gym just for a little bit to say bye to all the people on Team KMS because, as you guys know, people kind of like trickled out of the locker room. It wasn't like everybody was just like out at once. So I was saying, goodbye to everybody that was a part of it and everything. So finally, it's time to leave. And as I'm leaving, I see like Marty Mush and Jetski kind of waiting near like the handicap spots, which are right outside the door. So my dad, Mrs. Ted, and I all drove down together earlier in the afternoon and parked in the first spot right out front. So as I'm getting in the car, my dad goes, Rico's right there. And I go, oh, really? Not putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean he's right there? And then I see him get out of his car. And I'm like, Rico. And he sees me with my phone now. And I go, Rico, are you parking in handicap spots? And he just goes, what? Like, it's out of context. He's like, you want a water? He tries to be nice and bring me a water. And then now I'm filming. And Marty Mush, I'm telling you, is crying laughing. And he's like, hands on his head, like, oh my God, I can't believe you caught him. And I'm yelling at him, like, what about Mutt? And like all these different things. And right after I film it, like Rico gets in the car and Marty comes over to the car window. He's like, dude, you gotta tweet that right now.
Great instinct to film it too. Great instinct.
I was in my car and just hear somebody screaming. I look over and it's you, and I'm like, I didn't know what was happening until I saw your thing, but I could hear you with the car on and the windows up, just Rico.
The video was great.
I mean, talk about getting caught by the last person you want to be busted by. Ted, is there ever a scenario where an able-bodied person that has no issues with walking should be parking in a handicap?
You know what, Tim? There is. And that is when I'm in the passenger seat.
There you go.
Oh, boy. So how is it out of context? Like, I get it. Like, you go to, like, Target has
real story,
50
and he had to
spots, and it's 3
it.
in the morning. Who cares?
He had to defend it on like 3 different shows that next day, which is hilarious. It made the video all worth it just for that. But he had said that he pulled up there because he was trying to be a good team captain, and you need to have body armor water at the right temperature. So he was like, you know what, boys, I'll bring you in the cooler. Like, we'll pull it right up.
Oh,
and
so
he
wasn't
parked
he? I
up
thought
front to bring it to them.
I thought it was his riders because he had the riders like they when he first pulled up. By the way, I saw him pull up. He drives like a maniac. Like everything's like 100 miles an hour. He pulls up, he like jams it in park. These guys run out like they're doing a heart transplant and it's in the cooler. And they just grab a cooler full of Under Armour. That's before the game. So I thought he was loading the car up after. So he was just bringing waters.
Or he was loading up the water. He was doing something. It was something about the body armor water. I don't know if he was taking them out, bringing them to them, but he pulled up to make it a shorter trip, basically.
Says a lot about him, man. You know.
Kane, I am a known
I'd love to take shortcuts like that in
returner.
life. Can't do it. You know.
Can't do it.
I do not return cots. It's a well-known fact, and even I think that's kind of bad.
Yes.
I would never. And in fact, I drove someone today who has a handicap plaque, brought it with him and said, I'm absolutely not parking in a handicap spot while you go in there. I can move. Wow. That's what are you going to do now if he's on this new potential mixed team though? Do you root for him, Ted, or do you hold it against him?
You know, I'm team KMS through and through, so we'll see. But add me to the Gus list, I guess, because
just better never fucking do it again. That's all, right?
Teddy, yeah. Are you saying now, Ted? Can we get you on record? Are you saying now, if there is an event and it's a combined team going forward, and you show up, and Rico's parked in the handicap spot, you're going to let it go and go find a different spot?
There better be the handicap spot that I need right up front, and then he can take it from there.
What if there isn't? What if there's only one spot and he took it?
Then it's on site.
All right, so Nip, you set up the post game get together.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk had mentioned during one of the shows or something that they had gone to a place afterwards and it sucked, you know. And he mentioned specifically, he's like, they didn't even have nachos there, and I was I thought about it. I was like, well, they're going to want to do something afterwards, probably. And so I had looked at a couple places. I had gone to Sliders before. I actually met Harmon and Tim Ridgels before the first game down there and went again. So I had an idea. I was like, it's not too far. It's like 10 minutes away. They've got a really good menu. So, I was like, screw it. That should just be the place to go. They have nachos and they got wings and tenders. What else do you need? And so I just, I threw it out there. I sent it to the team, and did
the whole team show up?
No, a fair amount. I mean, Josh. James. There was you, Josh, the 7-foot guy.
Jared.
Yeah, and then Gus, Mrs. Gus, Ted. I'm sorry, John
Nick was there.
Matt, Pat showed up.
Justin, obviously. Yeah, there's a good amount of people.
It's a good amount. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a good amount.
Was it a late night? Because you guys heard on the show about the issue about getting on the pike, which I get stuck in like a schmuck.
We got there at about 9. We stayed until probably 10:15 because I was looking at Heather. I was like, it's going to take us 2 hours to get home.
How was everybody's spirits? The players?
Oh, great! Everybody had a good time.
Yeah.
Everybody was. Yeah. Mayo was there too.
Well, I would ask about the double dip, but Mayo confirmed he did not deny. In fact, he
doubled down.
Yeah.
He's proud. He said that's what an alpha does. Yes.
That is
disgusting.
That's absolutely putrid.
Jesus, Andy.
Oh,
terrible. You can't eat those nachos after that. You're done. That's the end. That's the end game for me. Wasting the money.
If there is a psychologist that is a Minifan, I would like for them to delve into that double dipping. Did you see it happen, Nip or James? Did you see?
He was on the other table. Kirk had ordered 2 huge double nachos, which basically came out in sheet trays. Cookie sheet trays.
Sure. Yeah.
And is that mine?
I'm not sure. It sounds like running water.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that my side? No. Anyways, so each kind of high top table got a sheet tray, and Mayo was on the other one. I was with Kirk.
So John, so this is what I need to know. You just getting there. Who's been infected with Mayo's germs that was at that table?
Pat.
Matt has a baby.
Gus. Mrs. Gus
is probably immune to it.
I was surprised. I mean, she.
Oh, disgusting. Did he double dip anything else, or did he lick anything and put it back?
He said he licked my pants before I used them. So I mean, I believe.
Kira and Donna were there. Kira and her mom.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. Very nice.
But
and then did anybody get caught in that half-hour slow down?
I sent a note to I didn't realize Justin probably did the same thing. But yeah, it was awful. And the thing is I found out about it just past Route 20.
Yeah, that's why I got on Route 20 and beat it. Yeah, if you missed it, you were fucked. Yeah, I saw that traffic. It was red for a while.
Yeah, it took 35, 40 minutes to get from Sturbridge to the Charlton Rest area.
Yeah. So anything happening behind the scenes at the post-game get-together?
Just some
aside from
conversation.
The double dipping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. Everyone was relaxed. Mutt was a little down for a little bit, but it was a good time for sure.
I really think that Mutt would have been a difference maker in that game.
I do.
Yeah, he'd been shooting lights out in practice.
Yeah, he'd really been great in practice. If he went to practice instead of running, actually, he got hit on Wednesday, so I guess it really doesn't. No. Yeah, I guess not.
Well, I guess there are some funny comments about that, about Mutt's accident that I'm sure will be coming out in due time. All right, boys. So it's we're coming up on an hour. I think people are probably exhausted with the talk now. Unless anybody have any final thoughts, any final observations to share?
I just hope it's not the last. I hope we do it again.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see something happen.
More games. Please make it happen.
Now, regardless of being support staff, just curious if there is a game between a merged team versus Chicago in Chicago, and is everybody here making that game?
I have tons of PTO.
If we're able to go,
but I'll make it work.
I'm asked to have tons of PTO.
Yeah, I mean, I would 100%, be there for just make a little trip out of it,
Can I just say one thing before we end it? We haven't really brought it up, but it was absolutely pathetic that Dave didn't go. I know Kirk said it really wouldn't have changed anything, but the whole documentary makes no sense now.
And him on the unnamed show today didn't do himself any favors either.
No, he didn't.
He definitely could have been there. I mean, that was just ridiculous. I understood his point though. He's like, you think I'd rather wouldn't have been there than went to Nantucket? No, I get that, but you can fly private. You could have flown at 9:00 in the morning, been to Miami by noontime out of the plane. So it's not really,
9:00. You could have left at 6:00.
No, I know, whatever it is. Like the latest you could have been. You wouldn't have been home any later than noon. So you could have got a lot done. I thought it was.
Before we sign off, just a quick shout out to Cinema's family and happy birthday, Cinema.
Happy birthday, Cinema. Happy birthday, Nick. Yep. All right, boys. Thanks a ton. Yeah, and I agree. I hope there's another game, and I 100% will be going to Chicago. If there is a Chicago game, there's got to be a chartered bus for that. What's it? What's it? 14 hours from Boston? 14, 16?
Justin has to drive it.
Boy, guys, that trip looks really fun. I can't wait to hear the stories tomorrow.
We've all seen the game. What's the starting five? Combined.
Or the combined?
I have no clue.
Oof.
All right.
Well, it'd be Kirk and Marty.
I think Kirk said he's probably not going to play though, right? That was kind of the idea. Or?
No, he's going to play. He's going to play.
Yeah.
I think you would have Beanbag in there. Matt, Marty.
Kirk, Marty, maybe Rico just for the content as the fifth.
Dana.
Now, yeah, we're already at 6.
I think
trying to
Kirk's
figure
going
out
to
5
push for Dana to be on Chicago though.
Yeah, that's right. He's going out there. And can Rico and Gus be on the same bench?
Well, redemption story here,
right?
And they mend.
All right, fellas. Hey, thanks for getting together. It's good catching up. Hopefully, there'll be there's a follow on, but we shall see.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys, for all your help.
Enjoy your night.
Great time.
See ya.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for doing this, Kane.